Mikel Arteta is Arsenal head coach. It is official. Yes, head coach, not manager. There is a difference. We're going to be discussing all things Mikel Arteta in this video. And also we're going to take a look at the announcement on the Arsenal site and just have a little read through about what he's had to say and let's just have a chat. There's no script. I'm just going to discuss how I feel about this appointment. There are a lot of positives, but there are also some negatives that I want to touch on. So let's jump over to the Arsenal site and have a little read through here. So good graphics as always. Arsenal know how to do good graphics. You got to give their Photoshop team or graphics team a little bit of a thumbs up there because they always do a nice job, don't they? But we're delighted to announce Mikel Arteta is joining the club as our head coach on Sunday. So it's worth noting Freddie is taking over the Everton game tomorrow. So he will be still in charge. What will that be? His sixth game in charge? And then from Sunday onwards, I'm hoping Freddie will stay. I'm hoping he will still be part of the coaching team, but Mikel Arteta will then start his role as head coach. So Mikel, a former club captain, played for us 5 seasons from 11 to 16 and has signed a 3.5-year contract. Now that is interesting because Unai Emery was offered 2 years and then potentially another year or another 2 years, depending on how we were doing. It was a performance-based contract, right? Now, I get it. It was a little bit of a difficult situation because it was our first manager in 20-odd years. It's always a little bit of a risk. You don't know how it's going to go. It was a safe choice, 2 years. In case it all goes wrong, guess what? It did go wrong at the end. We were able to kind of move on quickly, right? However, they seemingly want to tie Arteta down for longer. They've clearly got a bit more trust in him. They expect maybe more out of Mikel Arteta, even though it's his first managerial role ever. Just reminding you guys, he's been working as an assistant manager over at Man City for 3 years. He hasn't been the top dog. He's certainly been a big part of their strategy, their tactics. You hear Pep talk about how Mikel Arteta comes with his own ideas, which have definitely affected some of their results, which is obviously great to hear. But this is his first managerial role. You've got to remember that. It does seem a little bit risky, doesn't it? It really does. But there are some positives to it, which we'll mention later on. But 3.5 years, clearly the board have gone out hard. They've decided that we're going for the longevity choice. We're not going for a manager that comes in now and just keeps us going and maybe fixes a few things and then we go again. We get a new manager in a year and a half. That seems to be what modern football is today, doesn't it? You get managers that join for a year and a half to 2 years and then they kind of leave. It's just the way it is. Arsenal clearly don't want to be doing that. So for me, there was 2 choices, right? You go for a manager for now, or you go for a manager that will come good over the next few seasons and almost embark on a rebuild journey as a family. We grow together, and that's what Mikel Arteta offered. Let's go ahead and look at this graphic here as well. So he had 150 appearances, 131 of them starts, 16 goals, 8 assists, 2 FA Cups. Man, I wish we could just say we were winning FA Cups at least right now, which we're not, of course. Passing accuracy of 91.5%. I love how they've included that. Just so you know, Arteta was a really good passer of the ball. That is quite funny, isn't it? But it's an interesting stat to look at. It doesn't translate into managerial success, just being a good football player. Let's all be realistic. Mikel Arteta wasn't a world-class player. I wouldn't say so. I'd say he was a very good professional football player. He did a job everywhere he went. But come on, we're not talking about Ronaldinho, David Beckham, like proper legends of the game, right? But what we are talking about is, I think, one of the most intelligent football-minded players that Arsenal have ever had. So many big guys out there. Arsene Wenger, Pep Guardiola. Who else has mentioned his name? There's a lot, okay? A lot of players as well that have worked with him, alongside him, whoever. They've all said that he will become a truly great coach. One of the top dogs. So that's very exciting. Although this appointment might not be very inspiring for a lot of Arsenal fans. We've gone out and got Mikel Arteta, but you've just got to go with the flow because I think this will come good. This is a future appointment. It's not just about now. This is the man we want at the helm, growing, as I said before, as a family. We're embarking on a complete rebuilding journey here. We're starting from scratch. There are going to be a lot of players leaving. There are talks of Xhaka being linked to, I think it's Hertha Berlin. he apparently has already said his goodbyes to the teammates. You know, he's already saying, I'm going. So that's number one already, and Arteta's not even here. There's going to be a lot of other players leaving over the next 6 months to a year. No doubt about it. Mikel Arteta will then have money, hopefully, to bring in talents that he wants. And you'll see here, there's a few quotes. Obviously, he's saying he's honoured. Arsenal's one of the biggest clubs in the world. Yep, that's great to see. But one thing he said, this I like it a lot. First task will be to get to know the players. Yeah, of course. Playing the kind of fast-flowing, attacking football that Arsenal supporters around the world want to see. Now, Arsenal have always been known as an attacking, sexy football team, right? We play sexy football. We've lost that. We've absolutely lost that. In the past, okay, I would say this all the time myself. Oh man, we're losing the game. Hey, at least we're playing entertaining football, right? Because what is football? Entertainment. So if you're losing or if you're not winning titles and trophies, at the bare minimum, just entertain your fans. Entertain the people that pay money to come and sit down in the stadium or stand and sing and whatever, watching you play. At least entertain them. Okay, as the bare minimum. Of course, you want success. You want to win all the games you can. You want to win all the trophies possible. As long as you're entertaining the fans, though, typically they're going to be happy. I totally get that clubs need to win games. They need to win trophies. But really, the basics of football, the whole idea, the whole concept of going to watch a team play football is just to entertain yourself. Arsenal winning the Champions League isn't going to affect my life, is it really? Is it actually going to change anything in my life other than I will have an amazing video to make? No. You just want to enjoy it. You want to enjoy watching your team play. And Arsenal just haven't had that for some time now. Arsene Wenger, I think, lost it at the end of his tenure. And then Unai Emery's come in, and for a couple of months, it looked like we had changed identity a little bit. We were playing a bit more organised, but we never felt like Arsenal. It never felt fluid, smooth, possession-based attacking football. With Mikel Arteta, who has been working under Pep Guardiola, who play arguably the most entertaining football in the Premier League, along with maybe Liverpool, I honestly believe what Mikel is saying there. He will bring that kind of football here. He's got so many tips and tricks and knowledge now of that tiki-taka football that Pep's so known for. It's coming. It's coming to Arsenal. And that is really exciting. The only negative to it is, can he actually achieve it? Is he the man that can take control of this group of players and effectively retrain some of them? We all know that we've struggled with the passing out from the back. He's going to want to do that, no doubt about it. Can you retrain Socrates, David Luiz, Mustafi to be these types of players? Well, Mikel Arteta's never done it before. He's an unproven manager. He just has hype, okay? Mikel Arteta is thought to be the future top manager in the world. He's got all the qualities, but he hasn't done it. And he's going to be trialling it at Arsenal Football Club, which is a little bit nerve-wracking, for me at least. Let's go on and see what else has been said here. So there's a lot of talk here from Josh Kroenke. Not really a fan, mate, so I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But one big thing here, a quote from Josh himself saying, Mikel was the outstanding candidate and showed a burning desire to get Arsenal back to winning ways. Now, this is just a typical quote, right? And I totally get why they're showing it. And it makes sense, okay? They've picked Arteta. He clearly was the outstanding candidate. Or was he? Was he the only one we could get that we actually wanted? I'm sure we had... I heard there was 12 managers that we were looking at. Maybe only 2 of them were actually interested. The other 10 were like, hell no, I ain't touching that. Why would I want to come to Arsenal? So Mikel may have been the top candidate that was interested. I know it doesn't really mean anything. You know, we've signed him now. It's done. But I get why they're saying this. It makes it sound like we had a choice of 10 plus people and we thought he was the best. When realistically, it could have been that Arteta was the only realistic choice. There were others that we wanted more, but they weren't interested, or we couldn't afford them, or whatever. We've had to pay City, I think, 3 million, apparently, to get Arteta to leave and come and join us. That's nothing. It's a drop in the bucket for a top club like Arsenal. We make that so quickly. We spent more than that to relieve Unai Emery of his duties. So it can't have been about money. But who were the other candidates? Ancelotti, I'm sure, was one of them. He looks like he's going to Everton. I'm sure we were looking at Brendan Rodgers. Was always completely unrealistic. Why would you leave Leicester right now? Absolute no chance. I'm sure Eddie Howe was one of them. Pochettino, Allegri. I'm sure we made contact with a lot of managers, but I bet you a lot of them did not want to come to Arsenal because why would you? Why would you want to? But this appointment, and this is what I want to get across in this video, although I'm a little bit nervous about it, it is a risk. It's a massive risk taking on a new manager, a baby manager. He's never done this before. Dropping him in at the deep end, this is the worst Arsenal have been in so long. I'm talking 40, 50 years. This is the worst we've been. Getting a manager in that's never been a manager, it just screams ineptitude, doesn't it? It just makes you think, what are we doing? But then you've got to look at the positives. We've signed a manager that is young, he's hungry, he's driven, he knows the club, he's got so much backing, so many of the top dogs around the world recommending him, saying he will be one of the top managers. This could have been a huge decision that we would have regretted. Imagine if Mikel finished this season at City, went on and took over someone in the Premier League and became one of the true greats, and we missed it. That is something I completely understand. You just do not want to miss that. We're already in a tough spot. Why not take that risk? It can't get any worse, right? It can't be any worse than being a couple of points above the relegation zone. So I see why we've gone for it. And I'm excited to see if he is the one. If he is the one that finally replaces Unai Emery. Is he the one with all the ideas, all of the suggestions in the transfer window, and all of the brains behind everything that reinvigorates this club, that brings it back to the top where it belongs? It's just so exciting. I'm so looking forward to the next season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons. I'm hoping that we give him time, because that's the main thing as Arsenal fans right now, is to get behind him. We know this season has been terrible. We just need to get behind the players and the manager. Any decisions that he makes, just don't question it, man. Let him have his time. Let him get into the groove. Let him have a moment to breathe. Mikel Arteta is so new to all of this. I can't imagine how stressed he's going to be if we all just turn on him like that just because we lost a few games. This isn't about the next 6 months. This is about the next 36 months. It's massive. It's just a huge task. Give the guy time, but most importantly, give him damn money. Give him money. He needs to go into the window and bring in players that he thinks is going to help him turn it around. I don't know how it went down with Unai Emery, whether he had the final say or not. Mikel Arteta has to have the final say. He is going to do well in the window. I can see it now. Okay, we're going to sell 2 or 3 players, Granit Xhaka included, and we're going to bring in 3 or 4 players, especially defenders, that can get to grips with this freaking team, man, and just help us. We need help, okay? So that's my thoughts. Don't really know what else to say other than I am excited, but also I'm a little bit nervous because it is a risk. By the way, who likes the Highbury and the new Arsenal crest? What do you think? Looks nice. I think the setup's done now, pretty much. I'm very happy with it. Bit off topic. But anyway, it is done. Arsenal. Mikel Arteta. Done. And I cannot wait for next week. I think tomorrow we'll hopefully get a good performance at Everton. Is it home to Everton or what? I can't quite remember. But let's say we beat Everton and then Arteta takes over and we get a win on his first game as well. That would be just... what a perfect start that would be. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.